our first Zoom, KNF Global Zoom, and looks like we got one participant here so far, so we'll just wait a little bit here. But if you want to unmute yourself and do a little community check-in, we can for the first bit of time here. Hey, Zoe, if you're there, where you want to check in, let me know where you're from, what's up, how you found KNF.
Hi there.
Hey.
Hello. I am in Tanzania. I just woke up.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm in Tanzania, and I'm a friend of Sam's, Sam Bevins.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I think Sam's gonna be on tonight.
Yeah, he told me about it. It's evening there. You're in Hawaii.
Yeah. Yes.
Nice, cool. I've never been to Hawaii, but he's told me about it. And so, yeah, I've just been teaching KNF here. Like, I'm new to it also, but I'm like learning and exploring it with this youth village in Tanzania where I'm volunteering for 4 months. So I've been here a month and a half, and we've made most of the solutions, and we're experimenting with them on the field. Yeah.
And you've been learning from Sam a little bit?
Yeah. I've been farming organically for like a long time, like most of my life, but I've never used KNFs. But most of it like was very intuitive, and like it made a lot of sense, and I really I want to learn more about the philosophy, but the solutions themselves, it makes so much sense to me because they're all things that I was adding. Most of the things I was adding to plants in different ways, but never in like such a concentrated solution. So yeah, I'm very excited about it. Mostly here, we're just trying to find like more low-cost solutions because everything is hard to find, including sugar and oil, because it's very poor and very rural. Yeah.
Have you looked at the Jadam solutions where they use yeah.
Yes, but not that much. Like I don't have a recipe book for them. I just watch some videos and stuff. Mm-hmm.
And they don't grow sugar there? I mean, it seems like it's tropical,
They do.
right?
Yeah, they do. And it's not expensive to us, but it's expensive to them because they don't really buy anything. The only things they buy, like the most expensive things for the kitchen is sugar and oil. Those are really the only things they buy because they produce their own rice, their own maize, their own millet for eating, and their own fish, their own vegetables. So yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
Then,
Very low tech farm. It's working with youth, like teenagers, and they've been so excited about it. Like they keep asking, "What's the next thing? What's the next thing?" I'm like, "Okay, guys, I need to like learn it too. So slow down." It's been great. Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's good to find people that are interested in agriculture for real, and then able to like use these tools in like immense ways, change their life kind of thing. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hopeful. They're hopeful. Yeah. They're excited about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. I think Whitney's in here too. Do you wanna check in? Tell us a little bit about how you found KNF, what you're doing.
Aloha. Hi, I'm Whitney. I've just been learning. I took a class on Korean natural farming in Pune with I think her name is Kim Chang. That's how, and I wasn't able to go to every session of the class, but I have a small farm and I'm just learning about KNF a lot through the website. Appreciate that very much.
Oh, awesome.
And the Facebook group is mainly where I go to ask questions and yeah, sorry, I don't know what, oh, sorry, there's my video.
Oh, cool. So you're on the Big Island.
Yes, Big Island. I live in Waimea, and I've got a farm lot in Pauwilo.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I'm just in Onamea, so I'm a little bit down the way.
Okay.
Cool. And have you been making natural farming recipes and using them on your land?
I have. I'm just starting. I've kind of been going one by one. I've made IMO. I'm just about to try IMO 4 for the first time. And I've made FPJ and LAB, and but I'm still learning about how and when to apply them. I've just when I went to the class, we got an awesome book with a lot of the recipes, so I've just been going through and experimenting.
Cool. Well, yeah, I mean, I've seen a difference in my life when I've applied them, so I hope similar for you.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about the whole philosophy and just the idea that we can actually do things to rejuvenate the land rather than just stopping all of our bad habits, that we can actually have a positive effect.
Awesome. Cool. Sam's also here. Sam, do you wanna check in a little bit and let people know? Hey, we can't hear you, but Sam's coming all the way in from Israel. Still can't hear you, man.
How about now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I guess I can't use the headphones. What's up? Yeah. It's been pretty crazy, man. I just moved up north, so finished a project down south, or got a project started more of, and then yeah, heading up north, and now I'm gonna be doing a little bit of KNF and also starting my own company up here. But yeah, just been going all over Israel, been spreading KNF, went down to Egypt. You'll notice actually there's Zoe, she's actually in Tanzania right now, or Tanzania, and she's been doing KNF down there as well. So yeah, we've been spreading it pretty fast. Actually, even getting it into Palestine will be like the next step over in the West Bank. So been like crossing borders and building like intercultural relations. So it's been actually really cool. But yeah, just spreading the word.
Cool. Sam, how have your classes been going?
They've been going well. So we did one official like level 1 training class, and that one went really well. And then other than that, I've been doing a bunch of like introduction classes just like across the country. So where I'm at right now is actually a place where I started off doing workshops, but I just moved here now. So this is like the Northern Educational Center, I guess, for KNF in Israel. And then there's a Southern one too, like on the opposite side of the country. And I was teaching, like they do a permaculture program called the Green Apprenticeship. So we were down there doing that as well, teaching KNF as part of their permaculture design course. So yeah, just been teaching as many workshops to as many people as possible, basically. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's cool. The good thing about it too is like Israel's such a small country, man. So like, when people when people start like talking about it, like word spreads pretty fast. So I've been meeting people and they're like, "Oh, I heard about that Korean natural farming stuff." Like, and it's like pretty funny. They're all like, "Oh, wait, like you can do this outside of Korea?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course, man." Like, So, yeah.
Oh, that's great. So I've been working on kind of an interesting project. I've been getting ready for the Hawaii Farmers Union United, our state convention. And this year we were wanting to feature a few more Korean natural farmers. And it was also, we were supposed to have it at the Maui Convention Center or Cultural Center with Willie Nelson playing and Paul Simon and a whole bunch of folks. But since the virus is out and the restrictions are out, we can't do that gathering. So we're shifting the project online. So what I've been doing is contacting natural farmers that I know on the island that I think really have a story that a lot of people want to see. So tonight, one of the videos that I produced was working with my friends to build these 15-minute presentations that will then precede the question and answer at the convention. And so what I wanted to do today is kind of share one of those films with you guys through here, and kind of as a preview, just to see, I'm not the world's best videographer and things, but really more of what I'm trying to capture is the story. And here, where I was just talking with you guys, as we got started, it seemed like, the natural farming philosophy and the deeper method and the deeper reasons for doing it are really what what draws to this. Not only is it delicious food, but it is also like a bigger picture. So the video here it's about 15 minutes. It's 15 minutes, and then I was thinking, after we watch that, we can kind of have a discussion on it to see. I was hoping Logan would be here tonight to answer question and answer, but he had some other technical issues happen. So we're just figuring this out. But I'm hoping from here on this side and this of what I can do here, I think, and hopefully this will come through. So cool, yeah. So that's my brethren Logan, and he took the natural farming class like from me about 2 years ago, and he also studied with Master Cho a bunch. Every time he came to Hilo, Logan was there, and he's seen him probably like 5-6 times in Hilo. So I just wanted, with that kind of like as inspiration, to kind of open up 10-15 minutes of discussion between us here. Is like, it's just a small group, so we can actually kind of discuss without interrupting each other too bad, I think. So yeah, I mean, did anyone have any like takeaways from that and similar experiences in natural farming?
Yeah, I thought it was a interesting video, and he's obviously focused on the cannabis. I'm more focused on growing food. But the goals are the same, high yields, and I'm kind of in a spot where I have to figure out how to make some profit if I want to continue to farm. So yeah, I really think that natural farming is definitely the way to go from what I've learned and what I want to do with my land. And it definitely seems like it's a way to do it affordably. Yeah, so interesting. And thank you for the video.
Yeah, it's pretty cool getting to see Logan's farm, actually, because I met him when we were doing the workshop at your place, Drake, but it was cool getting to see where the magic actually happens. And now I see it all makes sense, like why he's producing good products and everything, because not only is he doing natural farming, but as you mentioned before, like understanding that philosophy behind it, or the bigger picture. And that's like, I think that's one of the biggest things for like all of us as natural farmers to really try to learn, is more of that deeper philosophy, just because like it does go beyond fertilizer, and it goes beyond building soil. It really is like going back, like Logan said, like going back to the mother, and like understanding the ways that nature worked already. Like one of the biggest questions I get out here is how does KNF or how do microbes have to do with growing food or growing plants? And like at first it really shows the ignorance of farmers nowadays and where the mindset is at to begin with, just because that question is being asked so commonly. But at the same time, it also like provides an opportunity to show people like, look, like if you have plants growing, you have microbes. If you see something alive, you have microbes, and really trying to bridge that gap between like the microbial world and the more large scale world that we live in, and really getting people to realize like, yeah, like microbes not only help plants grow, like it's actually necessary, like it's required for plants to grow. And I think that's really been like the big leap to try to connect that picture and like get people to realize like, like we're really working with just the building blocks of living things, and just kind of connecting that, I think has been really amazing to watch, like especially with all the people out here, because a lot of them have never heard of natural farming like at all, like not even like Japanese natural farming or any like natural farming, like it's very new. So it's been really cool watching
You are in Israel, you said?
Yeah, I'm in I just moved back out of the desert, so now I'm in northern Israel. But I've been just going all over the country basically sharing this with whoever will listen.
Cool.
So,
yeah. Even though I'm in Hawaii, I've met more than one farmer from Israel, so it seems like I'm interested in what's the agricultural scene is like in Israel.
Yeah, it's a very different scene than in Hawaii. Like I'm grateful that I lived in Hawaii for a while and got to experience like agriculture and farming in general in Hawaii. But coming out to Israel, yeah, it's like there's this advanced like level of farming, but then it's also really like not so advanced. Like we have great infrastructure for farming. There's like really cutting edge ways of doing hydroponics and aeroponics farming. Like irrigation is amazing, but there's not like much of an understanding or really a care for natural farming or farming styles that aren't just completely petrochemical or like synthetic styles of farming. So there's really this big gap where like you have like this advanced side of farming over here, and then you also have like this lack of information. Like I've met with people that are called like agronomes, or like extension agents, people who basically tell farmers what to buy. And I met with a lot of them, and I just asked them some basic questions, and like it was mind-blowing how many of them didn't even know that fish emulsion, or like using like not even fish amino acid, just basic fish emulsion, they didn't understand that that was good for plants. And to me that was really like, wow, like okay, there's clearly a major gap in understanding of just basic farming, let alone bringing in something like KNF, which is relatively advanced. Like it's very simple, but at the same time like it's not so simple. Like it's simple in the sense of like anyone can do it, anyone can make it, but when you start getting into these like the bigger picture of it, like it really takes a certain type of person to be able to wrap their minds around like this whole balance and this whole like relationship between soil and life, and like our health, and the way that like the soil health can actually impact like the animals in your environment, and like the weather that you're getting, and like every level of like environmental science can actually be impacted from this like basic soil transformation. So like it definitely takes, I've noticed it takes a certain kind of mind. But either way, yeah, it's been quite the adventure. But I'm definitely looking forward to coming back to Hawaii and spending a little bit of time out there again. I miss it, and want to come back and do some more training with Drake, and kind of do like a little bit more refresher and kind of update with some people that like are able to take this information even beyond like where I have it, because out here like it's different. It's good though. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think natural farming is awesome because it's kind of seems like sort of an intersection of science and I guess I would say spirituality. Like I've learned, I like science a lot, and I've gotten to learn about microbes. I've dated someone who was interested in growing mushrooms, so I kind of learned what a microbe is in that way by exploring that. But but I went to a natural farming class, and the book that they gave me with the recipes and everything, my best favorite phrase in that book is that the farmer should have a parental love towards their plants, and this is the true heart of a farmer. And I was like, yeah, that's it. And so I've never like had I guess Master Cho has been to Hawaii several times. I've never, I don't know too much about the history of natural farming being taught in Hawaii or anywhere else, but I just thought like, yeah, this sounds like the way to go. And the fact that it's affordable is big too, because I want to farm really bad, but I need to make a living and don't always have the time and money that I'd like to put into it.
What?
I gotta say, I expected there to be more people at the KNF meeting.
Well, yeah, well, we're just kind of getting started to go online, and yeah, like getting people tuned in. I don't know. I mean, it is actually a global meeting, though, right? Zoe's in Tanzania, I believe.
It's global.
Yeah, she's in Tanzania. I don't know, Zoe, are you there, or are you doing stuff?
She was
I know
earlier.
the internet down there is also like, there she is.
I'm there. I've been listening to everything. I'm also doing stuff. Yeah, I'm doing the laundry. It's like a long process by hand here. So just doing it while I'm listening. I really enjoyed the video though. I'm not a cannabis farmer, and so this focus doesn't really speak to me. But when he started to speak, I'm a food farmer, and so when he started, and trees and fruit trees and things like this, like long-term crops, but when he started to speak about like how the little black mites were like a message to him about how something was imbalanced, and the mites had come to kind of balance the system and show him something was out of balance. And then he looked at it and realized it was the mulch. This is the kind of thing that really speaks to me, because it is just like, I like how KNF it's like retuning back in a way to focus and know about the plants. And I'm not a KNF teacher, but I've been exploring KNF with a group of students here in Tanzania. It's a youth village. I told Drake in the beginning, but was nobody else here? Should I repeat briefly?
Sure. I mean, yeah, now, yeah, more people.
I missed the very beginning of the meeting, sorry.
I think it was just me and Drake, and I had just woken up, so I'm a little bit more awake now. Okay, so I'm in Tanzania, and actually since I arrived, I haven't seen another white person. It's not just because I'm in a very rural place, but it's also because of Corona, and there's no tourists here. And I'm a volunteer with a farm basically, and it's an organic farm, but it's also a vocational skills training center for youth who couldn't really go to school past the age of 6 if they went to school at all, or 8, because the schools are very far, and the cost of leaving their family and leaving the work and leaving the farm and also leaving fishing, or like just not helping with the family, that's the biggest cost to go to school. So they're all working in this organic farm. They're really excited about it. They're learning farming, because farming is not a typical income here. So basically the whole area, they only grow cassava, sweet potato, and maize, and they do it on big plots all by hand. Most people don't have a single tool, and they want to expand their knowledge about other vegetables and improve the environment. And they've been finding, when they've been growing different vegetables, that the first year is great, and then the second and third year they get lots of diseases, because also coming with the agriculture is coming, it's also coming with the the corporate seed companies and the fertilizers, like it's all a big package because they know that they don't know anything about farming because it's not a typical source of income here. So the seed companies just come with the whole package. And these folks are, of course, not very educated and they have no way to get other information. There's no internet, no phones really. So they're just so excited. I can do farming without these fertilizers and like without these chemicals and inputs. And the word is spread like across the entire region. And like we're hearing rumors, like people are coming to the youth center, to this farm, saying, I heard that you guys have a solution to farm without the chemicals. Can you tell us? And so like, I'm not a doctor. People are coming to me also with their illnesses. Like I heard that one of the fertilizers you're using for the plants is also good for stomach issues, which yes, I did say, but like, I'm not like the white doctor, but it's amazing. And people are so excited about it. And I feel like I can't give them information fast enough, but we're all learning together and we've made almost all of the like core 9 solutions. We're working on IMO after a few failures with the collection. But it's really exciting. I'm super excited about it.
That's really cool. It's inspiring to hear about, and yeah, good job, like just making a positive difference.
I wish I was more educated on KNF specifically because it's like I've done organic farming for a while, and like I introduced to them neem spray and spray like other things just for when they have an outbreak. And there are like it's already solving pests that they've had problems with for a long time, and I didn't even think that it would kill those pests, and it just does. And so they're really excited about everything. Yeah. And I want to give them more about the philosophy behind it. Like I'm excited about KNF also because it's helping them learn about the process of the plants, the development, and to really look at the plants. Because before they were definitely learning like, okay, wind doesn't need nitrogen, wind doesn't need potassium, but that's like really the extent of it. Yeah. And they weren't looking at the soil either. So it's really exciting. You all are welcome too, because Tanzania doesn't subscribe to Corona, so they're very open to having more visitors.
Well, I have a child who's in college for environmental studies and looking for study abroad opportunities, so you never know.
Yeah, also as a volunteer here would be great. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, wow, I feel like this impact, like these tools, like it's empowering people from the roots up for real. Like I saw a similar thing in Philippines when I went, where just indigenous people that didn't have access would get these seeds that were coated in a certain chemical, and then they would get these chemicals and not knowledge how to use it. And by using it, they'd get a good yield the first couple of years, but essentially they'd burn out their soil, and then they'd have to apply more and more until the pests ate it away, because they eroded their soil very quickly. But bringing bringing these recipes back to people, I'm happy I could be a part of sharing it. One thing that I tried to do in Hilo when I was running these meetings in person was every single meeting I tried to give a recipe, so that even if you know it already, we could go over it and kind of discuss finer points and just find out about them. So tonight the recipe that I have is for the water soluble calcium. So I'm gonna share my screen here. And let's see, is the whole thing showing up?
No, it's just black right now on my end.
It's starting to get more loaded, I guess.
It's showing, okay.
I can't see it, but I can see the structure of the letters.
Okay, well, let me see here. Well, the recipe here is to take two things that almost everybody has at home, which is vinegar, and this is just white vinegar, and the other thing is eggshells.
Do you recommend white vinegar above cider vinegar?
Either is going to be fine, but for this one, white vinegar is fine, especially if you're making it in large quantities. It's easier to get white vinegar.
Okay.
And with those two things, these eggshells, do you know, with the egg, if you're able to pull out the membrane when it's fresh, if you just take the fresh eggs after you crack them and you put them in a glass of water for a few minutes and then you peel out the membrane comes out much easier.
Okay, that's a good tip. I have a jar of eggshells, peeling the membranes, collecting right now.
And if you get out the membranes, it'll then store much longer. So if you leave the membranes in, it will just rot faster. So if you're going to use it really fast, you don't need to. But if you want to let it store a while, remove the membrane.
You got to remove the protein, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so these eggshells, they're crushed. Let me see. Let me make my screen big. Is it because it's not big? Yeah. Okay, is my screen big?
It looks the same, but maybe it's good.
I don't know. Anyway, the eggshells are crushed to be very small. And then usually what we do is we will then heat these. So I heated these in a pan. And you just toast them until they become kind of like a marshmallow, kind of well toasted, kind of a brown color to them.
So kind of low heat and slowly.
I used to do it really low heat, but now I do it just so that I do a high heat in the beginning and then keep it as like down to medium, and I keep it from smoking. If ever the eggshells are smoking off of the pan and you see smoke rising, your heat is too high.
Okay.
And so just turn it down. And then the key is just to turn them so that you don't have some burn to black. You just toast them evenly. And do this outside. And so I've already done it with these. Don't do it inside. It'll stink your house up.
You don't want them to burn at all?
As you burn them, it's not as good for them to be charred. You're converting it to carbon instead of the calcium. So if they're blackened, you're then getting more carbon than calcium.
Okay.
So just the toasting removes organic material and it removes moisture.
I have a question, sorry, off topic, but I've just made the WCAP with bones.
Bones, yeah.
So my dogs bring tons of pig and cow bones to me. So I'm just wondering how, and I just made a fire and put them on a grill and toasted them, like cooked them until they were black and broke them up. But is there a better technique of getting what you want out of, or like a certain level of charredness that you want the bones to be?
Just black all the way through. I like to do it in sort of a rocket stove where the heat goes up instead of just grilling them, because sometimes it's hard to get them to char. But if you put the fire at the bottom and have the heat rise through bones, it'll char them pretty well.
Cool, thank you.
So this recipe here is 1 to 10 by weight. So in here, in this jar, I put in 60 grams of the eggs in here, crushed eggshells, and I'll fill it up to 600 milliliters. And that's pretty much 10 to 1.
Okay.
It's not exactly close, but as long as you're within
So
that.
grams and milliliters are roughly the same.
Almost, yeah. It's like, yeah. So the grams of the eggshells in here versus so it's a 10-to-1 by weight. So whatever you weigh it out, if and the grams and milliliters, happens to work that way. So then I'm just adding the vinegar in. Tilt this forward for that.
So it's not by it's not by seeing that it's 10-to-1, it's by weight.
Yeah, but it's pretty darn close either way. And they're actually right within.
So you can basically just do it by looking also.
Yeah, and it's never a hurt to add just a few more eggshells.
Okay.
Because now that I have it mixed, they're gonna start, it'll rapidly start to bubble here. You guys see it bubbling. And the eggshells will sometimes start to float up. So you don't want to fill it too close to the brim, but I may have. But now this reaction starts to happen. And the key now is when you see it and it's not significantly bubbling anymore, I shake it once a day. But when I go to taste it later, right now it tastes like terrible white vinegar. When it's done, there should be no vinegar taste.
Really?
The vinegar, that vinegar bitiness of the vinegar is gone. And what it leaves on the back of your tongue is kind of like a chalkiness. Like Tums. Have you eaten Tums and you know the kind of chalky taste it puts in your mouth? Mm-hmm. That's calcium, right? You eat Tums to eat calcium to suppress the antacids and those things. So that calcium taste that you get from the Tums, that chalky in the back, should be no vinegar taste, but there, it's bubbling pretty good. And no significant, bubbling, but the vinegar, when the vinegar taste is gone, it's complete. And then you can pour this off to extract the liquid.
And then how long can you store that once you've made it?
If you ever smell it and it smells like rotten eggs, it's probably not, it went bad because things were in there. But I've had batches that are several years old, and it appears to me to be fine. I do seal them tight once I've extracted it from the eggshells.
If you don't seal them, all the vinegar recipes, will the potency go down? Or just the...
It starts to evaporate.
Yeah, it's mostly evaporating the vinegar, but I wonder if also the potency is reducing.
I'm unsure of that.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Okay.
I was wondering also for the LAB, I usually add equal amount of sugar because I'm storing it unrefrigerated, and FPJ, how long can you store those before you should make a new batch? Or how do you know if it's dead?
One thing I want to make you guys aware of is we're working on the knfsupport.com website, and a lot of these answers are there. But the LAB has a shorter shelf life because it's so active. And the FPJ, like the plant juices, can have a longer shelf life, especially if you refrigerate them. They'll last quite some time. But the lactic acid, because it's alive, it does have a shorter shelf life.
Thank you.
Yeah. And the more in storage with these, the more you can minimize temperature going up and then temperature going down. That's what makes the sugar drop out of solution, is when temperature fluctuates a bunch. So in your storage, if you can put them someplace where the temperature doesn't go up and down very much, even if it's a little warmer, as long as it's not going up and down, that's better than having it fluctuate a whole bunch for long-term storage. But yeah, these things here, this calcium will usually take 3 to 5 to 7 days, depending. But again, if I taste it and I don't taste the vinegar, it's gone. Had it happen faster, and sometimes it takes a bit longer, but usually it'll stop bubbling in. So any other questions before we wrap up for the evening? Or the morning, I guess, because it's, yeah, who knows what time it is where you're at.
I have a question. I'm wondering, Zoe, I'm wondering if there's anything available on your website or information more about like the philosophy of KNF. Because I didn't take a full course, and I would like, the youth are asking me a lot of questions, and I would like to give them more of a full picture on philosophy. I don't know if there's any written stories or, I don't know, ways to understand.
Yeah, I think on my on KNF video, I've done a lot of sessions where we sat down with Master Cho, and he kind of talked about the origins of KNF and where you know, he has a long history of you know, surviving, almost being beaten to death, and all this stuff out of the Korean War, and his whole story. But yeah, that's should be chronicled.
Thank you.
But cool. Well, yeah. Any other questions? Or yeah, I think it's a good session for tonight. I just want to thank you for
Thank you.
showing up.
Awesome. Very educational.
Yeah, I feel inspired by everyone here. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this. Thank you, everyone.
Same here. I hope this is the first of many KNF global meetings, and we can watch it grow. It'll be nice to be like,
please
hey,
do it again.
Members.
Yeah, let's do it again soon. If it's like, I don't know, next month or something, I'll bring other people from the team who I've been teaching with, the other leaders. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll definitely put it out there to farmers in my community.
cool. Well, beautiful. Well, thank you, and may the beneficial microbes be with you.
Aloha, man. Yeah.
Uh-huh.